Now for our first topic. Topic number 1. Given that about 1/2 of the city's budget directly relates to public safety, please describe your views of public safety as a city priority, and how or where would you rank public safety with other city services? Mr. Bernhardt, your initial statement, please.
Public safety is the #1 priority of the city. And as a wise man said very recently, public safety is the face of the city as well. There is no more important job for the mayor, and in the city charter, it talks about the mayor having 3 important roles. One being the ceremonial head of the city, the second being one of the 7 votes, and the third is being the leader of the city in case of emergency. And I take that job very seriously, as you heard me mention earlier. It's my #1 priority. And there are many issues that we're dealing with in the city right now with the increased density and congestion and our bar district, which are causing a lot of different issues in the city, which I believe are causing possibly part of the increase in crime. And as the police chief mentioned a few months ago, much of our increase in crime is due to drug-related issues. People who are on drugs who are then robbing homes and robbing other people to get money for drugs. So we have an increasing drug problem in the city that we need to address as well. So overall, I think that we need to focus on public safety as our biggest priority as far as our budget goes. As far as the focus of the city council, we should not be focusing on just zoning issues at every meeting. We should be focusing on the safety of our citizens, the bar district and how we get that under control, and making sure that everyone feels like Scottsdale is the #1 city to come and visit, because we want our tourists to be safe as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't disagree with anything that Mr. Bernhardt said, but I would say, to expand a little bit, that I think one of our real challenges as a community is that public safety really isn't the face of the community. Public safety is largely invisible because we're a fairly safe community. And I think our residents perhaps don't appreciate sometimes what we spend on public safety. I think our elected officials sometimes approach public safety as a line item in the budget, and they don't appreciate what it is to live in a safe community. A lot of the folks on the city council live in gated communities, and they don't have to deal with backdoor break-ins like we have to deal with in my neighborhood. We've seen 4 or 5 in the last 6 months in Peaceful Valley, which is Miller and Osborne. We're in the oldest neighborhood that was actually built inside the city limits in 1955. It's an absolutely wonderful place to live, and it's a perfect example of what it is to live in suburban Scottsdale, where you have unfettered access to the amenities of a big community, and you go home and you're in suburbia. But part of the price we pay for that, for the urbanization, is that we have encroachment of problems like from the bar district, and those are problems that are very real to our community, and we would prefer not to have those problems. We would prefer not to have the interactions with the police officers taking reports of break-ins and things like that. So it's a much more real issue to folks that live in proximity to downtown Scottsdale. And so, my approach is to try and make people aware of what's going on. And that's why I interact on a fairly regular basis via email and phone calls with our crime prevention officers. I had good conversations with Craig Abernathy, and not as often, but occasional conversations with Kevin Watts, who's our CPO now. And I think it's important to circulate that information to the neighbors and make them understand what's available to them and what they should expect for public safety.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's critical on day one coming into the office of the mayor to sit down with the public safety team and make sure that as mayor, I've set a vision for the city, the goals that we need to reach, the crime rate that we need to get our numbers down to, all the things that are important to keeping our neighborhood safe, and trying to find the causes of the issues, not just treating the symptoms. And I do believe firmly that our public safety team is the face of our city. Many of our tourists interact with our police officers and the fire department on many different occasions, and they believe that this is the best team possible. And I think that's very important that we continue to train our our team to be able to interact with our tourists and with the public and be able to have a great face for our city, because tourism is an extremely large driver of our economy, and we need to make sure that we protect that.